Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NURFARAH. I'm BINTI YAZIT and my metric ID is 3212006331. Today our group would like to give a speech with a theme that were given to us, which is happiness. Before we start, I will introduce each member of the group. First, we have NURUL, ALYA, BATRISYIA, BINTI, ZAINAL, ABIDIN. Please say hi to the audience. Hi! Then, we have SITI, NURUL, ASHYIQIN,
Hi!
Next, we have PUTERI, NURINA, ASHRANI, BINTI, IZWAN, NASARUDIN. Hi! And lastly, we have AYUNI, SYAFIQAH, BINTI, AZIDIN. Hi! And now, without further ado, we are going to continue with our speech. So, happiness. Perhaps it is safe to say that most people want to be happy. They want to be here in this big, crazy and confusing world. But too many people struggle with being truly happy. They cannot seem to find happiness in life. To them, it is something that doesn't just come naturally. Fortunately, there are plenty of strategies people can use to create happiness, or at least strive for it. It really depends on one's desire obviously to feel joy, to feel gratitude even it is difficult to find, to have the right people by the side, and an exciting job or at least a hobby that they feel good about doing, that somehow bring meanings, direction and purpose.
So, what is the meaning of happiness? Actually, there is no universally agreed upon definition of happiness. And if you Google the definition of happiness, you will read that happiness means the state of being happy. The meaning of happiness varies from person to person, and it's even something that changes over the time, because what made you happy as a kid probably won't make you happy as you get older. For some people, they might say happiness to them is when you can recognize and appreciate the good things in your life without letting the bad things overshadow them. Or even, you get to enjoy the simple things in life. Happiness is a thing that doesn't happen out of anywhere, because it is a thing that has to be worked on. Happiness is need to be produced, created, discovered, built from the ground up, and it has to be a decision in one's mind, which is the decision to be happy. Believe it or not, the procedure is quite simple. One must have the conviction to be happy no matter what trouble life throws at them. However, our main point today is not about how are we going to be happy, but we are going to talk about happiness and money.
There are many studies in the topic and many factors that come into play, such as cultural values, where you live, what matters to you, and on how you spend the money. So what is the real connection between money and happiness? Happiness can be said is something that have intrinsic value. It is a thing that are valuable to you but don't necessarily represent a standard value for happiness to others. While money also has intrinsic value, but mostly the other will recognize it as a real world value and will just generate accept it. It is like the differences between something that you want to have. Why we decide to go through the connection between money and happiness, and not about money to happiness, because after all, it is not the money that gives you that happiness. However, the concept is that if there were not any connection, less likely to stay, like at work, or even go at all, plus even struggle to save your promotion, and at the end it will be appear more complicated than you can imagine. Money didn't bring happiness to you, but money can help you find more happiness, so long as you know just what you can and can't accept from it.
If you want to know how to use the money
you have to become happier. You need to understand just what it is that brings you happiness in the first place. One secret of happiness is people. And according to the large-scale surveys from the University of Chicago's National Opinion Research Center, NORC, they have found that those with 5 or more close friends are 50% more likely to describe themselves as very happy than those with smaller circles. These proofs compare with the happiness increasing powers of human connection. The power of money looks feeble indeed. So you can use the money to throw a party, set up a regular date, or whatever it takes to invest in your relationship.
This is because people in happy, stable, committed relationships tend to be far happier than those who aren't. I didn't really say that money can't give us happiness, but we can use the money to achieve the happiness that suits ourselves. Doing things can bring us more joy than having things. Our preoccupation with stuff obscure and important truth, which is the things that don't last, create the most lasting happiness. That's what Gilbert and Liv van Boven of the University of Colorado found when they asked students to compare the pleasure they got from the most recent things they bought with the experiences like a vacation or a night out that they spend money on. One reason may be that experiences tend to blossom as you recall them, no diminish. Even if during your trip you might have an endless parade of hassles punctuated by a few exquisite moments, but when you're looking back on it, your brain can edit out the surly cab drivers, remembering only the glorious sunset.
To wrap it up, gaining happiness is not something that you can buy or something materialistic that you can achieve, because your happiness is as unique as yourself, that no one will share your exact meaning of happiness. Sure, some people will agree with what happiness means to you, but they got to the details. Your definition of happiness is as unique as yourself. And that's all from us. Thank you.